Hey everybody, Elizabeth Varian here. How are you? Let me get my mug shot out of my way. I didn't get these videos recorded fast enough, so we're going to have the Bible study ladies behind us. And Christy told me last time that you guys could barely hear them, so hopefully that remains true, and I'll just put up with the fact that I can hear them much louder. So we have been talking this week about time frame, the biggest question everybody wants the answer to. How fast from creation to experiencing manifestation? And this is the techniques and strategies video. So the last night we talked about in the teaching all the various things that can become obstacles or the reasons why things don't show up so quickly. And unfortunately, that makes it so easy for people to give up going, oh, this stuff doesn't work. When it does work, it just doesn't always happen instantly due to other outside circumstances or internal beliefs. So I wanted to come up with a technique or strategy that you guys could do to help you start practicing the manifestation faster, which I actually think this is a good opportunity for me to answer a question that so many people have been asking me since I started this group. We're on our 8th week of teaching, or actually 9th week, but 8th teaching. And that is, Elizabeth, do you offer coaching? Are you going to become a coach? Are you going to create courses? And I don't have an answer regarding courses, but I pretty much think this is a massive course. I mean, we're getting very meaty in the whole manifestation laws and really digging into nibbles of pieces of it instead of giving you the touches and tidbits and touching tips. So I think giving this information away, it created a solution that I needed for my own manifestation and creation. And it's worked. I am in the black. Last year, before I started these courses, I was 2 months behind in my mortgage. I ended the year in the black with more contracts coming in. I just got one yesterday, and I have another one coming. So we're launching 2 sites this week and some more coming around the bend. So it's been serving the purpose of why I started these videos to begin with. I don't have the personality to become a coach, and becoming a coach isn't part of the success DNA that is within me. And I think this is a great opportunity for you guys to stop as well and look within. I'm not against Tony Robbins and the like out teaching that we need to model. You know, find someone who's successful doing exactly what you want to do and then model after them. Model the behavior, model the discipline, model the steps. I don't think it's 100% necessary or user-friendly, if you will. Number one, I don't have their DNA. Number 2, I wasn't raised in their environment. And number 3, I may not necessarily think the way they think. And lastly, I may not want to be doing what they're doing. It may not be part of who I am. We all have our own unique success DNA, and we really need to grab hold of that, which is why connecting intuitively within ourselves and getting in meditative states helps us to then create our own path. And being open versus focusing on the how, being open to the path that it is coming, and that as the steps fall into place, I will know which step to take. And there's a vast difference between what I do and choose to do and what a coach does. In our manifestation group, we have a lot of coaches, and I recommend a lot of variety of coaches to go to who actually coach in the laws of manifestation. I have recommended Denise Duffield Thomas. I used her money manifestation back in February to manifest 30 days in Key West, vacation, fully paid for. I have used Sarah Prout's various courses. I have used, you hear me talk about Abraham Hicks a lot. You hear me mention Tasha Chan, going to her manifestation event this weekend. And I also, one of the things that I'm going to be pointing to tonight, have purchased a course called Manifestation Miracles. So why would I, who teach and know manifestation, be connected to still buying all these courses? Isn't it once you know it all, you can always do it? Yes and no. I'm human. I'm imperfect and I'm okay with it. I'm perfectly imperfect. As we can see from these videos, I love being perfectly imperfect. The coach will help you with specific steps and specific exercises. I don't give those necessarily. I give some techniques and strategies, or like tonight, I'm going to give you somebody else's and I'm going to give you the link to that page so you can get it. It's actually the course that I purchased. And the teaching in 7, the playlist number 7, was all of the ways that we create. It was a massive list. And I still think I probably missed a few things, right? We create consistently all the time from the energy we're putting out in various ways. Well, we also, next week, in the 9th playlist, we're going to be talking about all the ways we energize our magnet in the law of attraction. And then we've spoken on the law of allowing. When I get more in depth in that, I don't know yet because it's not in the next 2 weeks, and I have those figured out already. Beyond that, none of my business at the moment. So if I look at the massive list of how I create, and I look at the massive list of how I energize my magnet, any formula or combination, right, will create the manifestation. And then for those of you who are Christians, I think of Jesus in the Bible. He didn't heal the blind the same way every time. And in fact, throughout the entire Bible, they mention people that were blind or sick or leprosy and various illnesses that were healed either in the Old Testament or the New Testament, but not always the same way. One way, which, he spit in dirt, made mud out of it, and put it on someone's eyes, and they became so they could see again. Another person, he put his hands on them and simply said, your sins are forgiven. Caused some issues with the Pharisees, but that's another story for a whole different teaching. Then other ways, he just said, go and be healed to people, or you are healed. And a lady who had been bleeding, who also had been bled of her bank accounts from all the doctors and the medical bills, not going there for today, all she did was touch the hem of his garment, and she was instantly healed and knew it. Okay? So I know biblically that the reason there were various ways is so that people didn't get stuck on the strategy and think that's what heals you, but focused on the actual miracle. In manifestation, I know there are so many various ways and paths that can get me to the manifestation that instead of sitting and trying to figure it out, I go to a coach, or I buy a course, or I pay attention to a coach's Facebook group, or I go and try this or go and try that because I like fresh and new. And one of the 6 things that Tony Robbins teaches that every human needs is change. They also need stability. Which do you want more of? I like variety. Variety is my spice of life. So having coaches helps me. I know the theories behind it. I know if I want to sit down to manifest, I know I have plenty of exercises from former coaches and former courses to use. But I don't have the desire to create a course myself that has specific exercises to follow. I want to bring those coaches on as our group grows to present their own course. I did the beginning of the year, I have a Manifestation Babe book, I followed, even though I wasn't focused fully on Tasha Chan's money manifestation exercises that she did with a group. And I followed, there was another group that I followed as well. I can't think of it right now. And all three of them were at the same time focused on money. They all three did something very different. And I got to tell you, I saw Tasha speak and I told her that I loved her way the best because hers was the most fun. But I brought the combination in because I got a little bit from everything. And so who you connect to and who you relate to is going to really take you to that new level. I'm giving you the meat and potatoes behind this is what it is, this is how it works. The other thing you find is when you stick with one coach, you also tap into their belief system. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't like to always tap into someone else's beliefs because I have a vast array of belief combined, if you will. So that's the difference between myself and a coach. And the reason I state all that is because, and I will put the link into it, there is a website called theLawOfAttraction.com. And this woman, Catherine something or other, let me see if I can pull it up. She touts having the largest law of attraction website on the web. And I've seen it. It's pretty massive. I've been on it for quite a while now. And she's probably right. She probably does have the largest manifestation. Catherine Hurst, Hurst. And she has a pretty good sized Facebook group as well. So she has a page on her site with an article called How to Manifest Something You Want in 24 Hours or Less. And I'm just going to touch on that. I think my explanation of coach versus what I'm not, I'm a teacher, not a coach, probably is going to take longer than the actual technique itself, or at least teaching it to you. And again, I'm going to put the link for Facebook down in, or up in the post, for YouTube down in the description. And now, if you're listening via the podcast, we are taking the audio out of the videos and putting them into podcast. I've been podcasting with Webmaster for Hire and our clients for years. And I had 2 events happen where people spoke 2 things out to 2 other people. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know how to do this. Why am I not doing it? So we'll be pulling the audio out and creating this in a podcast. So if you just want the audio, I'll be having that set up in the next 2 weeks. So if you're listening to the podcast, in the description, I will have the link to this site. Again, it's theLawOfAttraction.com, and you have the word the in there, www.theLawOfAttraction.com. And then the article is called Manifest Something You Want in 24 Hours or Less. Doesn't that sound amazing? Let's manifest something we absolutely want in 24 hours or less. Well, last night in the teaching video, I actually showed you that you can manifest within hours or minutes. So 24 hours, that's tons of time, right? So I'm just going to touch, and basically she gives 5 different points on how to do it. And you're going to notice it's going to cover a lot. See, now I'm paying attention to myself. Now that I'm doing transcription of my recordings, I didn't realize I used the word gonna and wanna all the time. Want to, I'm going to. Gotta love laughing at yourself, right? If you can't enjoy life, oof, change it. So, the first thing that she says in this article is choose what you want to manifest. That's easy, right? But you want it to be something specific, and it's vital that you know exactly why you want this specific thing in your life when you're trying to manifest it. Because that why kind of gives it that push, that emphasis to it. And that's going to help you get more specific in your statement of what you're creating. And when picking a thing to manifest yourself, she gives you some questions to ask. Do you really want this? Or you say to yourself, do I really want this in my heart of hearts? I was talking to someone who is having some emotional problems in life, and I can relate to it. I don't know if I've mentioned it or not. I may have, but in high school, I was in a suicide ward for attempted suicide in a adolescent psych ward. And so she and I were talking, and I think she kind of realized that I wasn't speaking fluff. I'm speaking from experience. But bottom line is, as an empath, I take on other people's emotions. I have learned I have to detach from the fact that I can't choose something for you. I can't choose for you to manifest great things. I can't choose for you to make the decision to be white hot fire for a decision. I can only put the information out there. So I ultimately can't want it more than you. And I think that's where I stumble when it comes to coaching, because I just want you to have it now. Yes, I love being a cheerleader for people. And I love it when the universe taps on my heart and says, be a cheerleader for that person. And so I don't know why, but I'll do it and not even care why. And then I'll watch the various events that happen around that person. So why do I say all that? Well, because when it comes to this question of, do you really want this? My response to her is, you have to make this decision. If you don't want it, I can't want it more for you, and I can't make it happen for you. So no matter what it is, if you're choosing life, choosing to go on a cruise, choosing love, choosing an improved relationship, choosing whatever, choosing is you actively participating in your creation. Do you really want this in your heart of hearts? And as sad as it is, if someone says no to something you really want for them, you have to pull back. They have to want it for themselves. So do you really want whatever it is you're asking for? How will you benefit from this? I love that. That's the results. How is this going to improve my life? How is this going to help me to enjoy reaching out and enjoy an experience or having something? What is it going to improve in my life? What is it going to enhance? Is this relationship, how's it going to feel? How does it, how are you going to benefit from a better relationship? How are you going to benefit from the weight loss? I'm getting down to size that I desire. I'm getting there. I've got it. My clothes are in the closet and they're going to fit me. They fit me. Right? How's that benefiting you? And, for most people with weight loss, they always say, well, I'll get a date. I'll have better health. I'll have more energy. Me, how's it going to benefit me? I get to be in my designer clothes again. It's got to be a benefit that you enjoy, that motivates you to charge you up in that energy vibration. I get my wardrobe back, even though new top, loving it. Had to go with the necklace that I got for Christmas. So I love clothes. How are they going to benefit you? They bring me joy. That's okay. When you think of having this, does it feel right? A lot of teachers teach that our feelings are our compass for if we're in the right spot or not. Whether you're thinking right, whether you're on the right path. I don't necessarily know that that's always true. I believe for the most part it can be true. And I think women out there will fully understand when I say my feelings may also be hormonally or chemically charged, whether the serotonin or dopamine is being released. Even though you can control your emotions, sometimes I choose not to. And they may not be aligned necessarily with what's going on in my life, except for what's going on in my body. But if you think about something and you feel a weight to it, then you're either looking at limiting beliefs or it's not for you, which again is knowing your DNA path to success in whatever it is in life. And don't let anyone tell you what it is. It's for you to know. It's your life. How will it be good for me and for others? The number 2 thing, get rid of the things standing in your way. She says, keep a lookout for those blocks. And we talked about that in the teaching. Negative beliefs and mindsets, toxic people, timing. And the third thing, and timing, I think, if you want to start a lawn business and you're in Minnesota and it's December, and you want to cut grass, you're probably going to have to wait till springtime. Unless you want to shovel snow. So timing is something that's very imperative to be aware of. So the number 3 thing she says is visualizing what it is you want to manifest. You want to pour your energy and your concentration in it. 4, taking action to manifest what you want with inspired action. And I like it because she goes into that a little bit more on what inspired action is. I'll talk about inspired action at another point because there is a vast difference, which is my word of the night apparently, between taking action and taking inspired action. And I think both are very relevant, but understanding the difference is very important. And then lastly, recognize and appreciate. Go back to what your first thoughts were and felt when you started visualizing the outcome. So I'll put the link to this. I think this is a good one for anyone who wants to practice manifesting something a lot quicker. And so that's your techniques and strategy. And I think I gave you maybe some nuggets there in explaining why I'm not a coach. Don't plan to be a coach. Don't foresee it in my future. And why I'm a teacher. Maybe that helps somebody who needed to hear that it's okay that you don't have to follow in somebody else's footsteps. So hopefully that is good for you. Let me bring my little mugshot back over so I can end the video nicely. And I will say until the next one, which is take and see action. And it looks like I beat the Bible study. Yay. Alrighty. You guys have a great one and be joyful manifesting in 24 hours. Bye.